Hi, I'm Liz Moyer, editor of Horse Illustrated. I'm here today with Barb Wells, a certified equine shiatsu massage therapist who donates her time and expertise to massage the horses at the JF Therapeutic Riding Center. Today, Barb's going to demonstrate a few basic massage techniques that you can try at home with your horse.
Muscle tension will show up in your horse. You just have to take a little time to see what it is. It can demonstrate itself in a lot of ways. Kicking, bucking, resisting leads, head tossing, even attitude changes could be signs that there's real tension and strain in muscles or some part of the structure of the horse. The four main areas that I've found with most of the horses I do, the animal will have either one or all of the areas will show signs of strain. That would be the neck area, down in this area, the back, the front shoulder, and the hindquarters. It's pretty much the whole horse. So there's a lot of tension out there and a lot of sore backs. So I'm going to show you a few different moves today that you can do at home to help alleviate some of the discomfort your horse has. And that'll also bring you closer to your horse, because when you start touching him in a different way, he'll know it and you'll know it, and your bond will become closer. One of the first moves you can do, it's called effleurage or stroking. You use a little bit of hand pressure as you stroke down along the fibers of the muscles to assess the condition of the muscle. Her muscles are not bad, but she does have a few knots, and you can feel them. They're little bumps and lumps. Some can be as small as a hazelnut or as big as a baseball, depending upon the condition of her neck. So just stroke down several times and watch her face. You'll see her when you hit a spot that may be sensitive or sore. It looks like she has a sore spot right there. And take a look at how her neck is feeling. If you want to press a little bit deeper with your fingers into that, she may enjoy it. As she starts to drop her head, it is a little relief for her. She does enjoy it. That's the first move you can do. Read your horse under the skin, read the muscles with your fingers, and press into them. She'll enjoy that. The next thing you can do is called cross fiber. Cross fiber, pretend you're holding a grapefruit about this big and stiffen your fingers. And with that stiffened finger, go ahead and run across the fibers in her neck. This is an invigorating portion of a massage for a horse. Oh, she likes that. It can enliven and invigorate the muscle depending upon how much pressure you use and how briskly you do it. If she's sore in her neck, she'll enjoy this. And she'll let you know. Her eyes will start to soften. It looks like they may be a little bit. And it feels pretty good all over anyway. The next thing you can do if you find tension is to work along the crest area. Squeeze as though you were testing a lemon to see how ripe it is. In this area you'll find tension, and the horse will go ahead and move her head down if indeed it feels good to her, which I think it does with Ladybug here. You can continue doing this from the withers up to the pole, and then from the pole area back down to the withers. I don't think she dislikes it. If you can see her face, it feels good to relieve the tension in that area. In the shoulder area, there can be quite a bit of tension as well. If you have a horse that's jumping, they're landing, and that shoulder takes a lot of impact. If you're working with Western riding, working with Gymkhana, you're making those short stops, and those shoulders get jarred quite a bit. So you can get a lot of tension in this area. If you sort of draw a teardrop shape around that part of the muscle, it'll give you an area where there's a lot of muscles that intersect and are all wrapped around in this area. If you remember the effleurage and the stroking from the neck, you can do the same thing in this area to assess discomfort or not in that muscle. And if you look at her response, I think Ladybug's pretty sore in this area. I'm just doing a light press, and she's very sore there. As a training horse here at the center, she does get a lot of use, and sometimes they get a little bit sore. When they are sore like that, back off the pressure. You don't need to press hard. What you can do if she is uncomfortable is press gently with the heel of your hand just to help her with some circulation in the area, and back off with the pressure. If it's uncomfortable, don't force her to take the massage. She doesn't need to in that area. And you can look at other things that might be causing that discomfort in the area, like maybe a little overwork or something like that. If she'll allow you to do a little cross fiber in the area, if you remember that from her neck, you can do that up in this area as well. She may prefer it a little higher up and not into the sensitive spot, and that's where you'd want to work with it. You don't want to get kicked. Another area that we talked about earlier where there's quite a bit of tension, and can be based on the type of use the horse has, is the hindquarters. And this is a big area, as you can tell. It's the back half of the horse. There are a lot of muscles that intersect along the side here, and a lot of muscles that attach up into the vertebra and the lower end of the spinal area. If there's nothing else you can do in this area, your horse will appreciate just a nice cross-fiber rub. And again, making your hands stiff, go ahead and press into those large muscles and rub with that cross-fiber. It will usually elicit, she was just doing a little gas passing in the area, which is good. That's a good sign. If they hold and wait for a little bit and you watch for the good sign, she'll start lapping with her tongue, which says that it's bringing a lot of circulation into the area and actually some relief as well. If you feel the muscles along here, use the effleurage and stroking that we talked about earlier. You can assess the quality of her muscles back here. You might feel some large lumps. Go ahead and press into those gently and cross fiber over them and try and help work some of those out for her. You can feel along here. If you feel something that's hard as a rock, that's not normal. That means maybe she was put up while she was still too warm and there's a lactic acid buildup there, and that you want to make sure to avoid. It's always good to cool your animal down at least a good 20 minutes after you're done with an exercise session. And finish that part of the hindquarter. Oh, look, positive reaction. Tension in your horse's back can really throw him off, as all of your horse's locomotion comes from the back. To assess the quality of strain and anything else that's in his back, go ahead and take your fingers, run them along either side of the spine with a medium amount of pressure, moderate, not real hard. Some horses give and flinch just a little bit as you're doing this. That's normal. But if you reach a spot where they really give hard, then that's probably a pretty sore spot. If you watch their heads like her, it looks like she has a little sore area up here. But if you run your fingers along here and she doesn't have any particular problems, it's quite soothing for the horse. You can incorporate these few simple moves that I've shown you today on Ladybug anytime at home. There's no special tools required. And remember, depending upon the moves you use and how briskly you apply them, you can either invigorate the horse's muscle or relax them. And remember, anytime you do give your horse a massage, you will increase the bond with your horse, and that's something that equine people understand and we all can appreciate.